Hey, Chris and Karina. Hope you guys are doing well. We have been praying for you, and I appreciate you guys praying for us as well. It's been a lot when you guys have just checked in with us and touched base, and we certainly have a better appreciation for all you guys have been through for a much, much longer period of time than we have. Sorry it's been so long since I've done one of these. This morning when Sarah and I were lying in bed and we were praying together before trying to jump into the day, Psalm 118 came to mind, and it's one of those verses that is so familiar. Verse 24, this is the day which the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And as we were thinking through that psalm, praying through that psalm, I think for me just to remember, what, God, you're on your throne, and today is a day that you've made. That, in fact, every day of our lives, you've known them before we lived even one of them. Psalm 139 says, all the days were written in his book before we lived yet even one. He knew us in Christ before the foundations of the world. God is on his throne. Today is not a mistake, or to quote something that Cyrus said in his sermon a few weeks ago, God hasn't accidentally left us on the burner too long, like when somebody's cooking something and they forget about it and they burn something. God hasn't done that with us. Today is a purposeful day in the grand scheme of his work, not only in our lives, but in all of history. And sometimes it's easier for Sarah and I to wish for a better day. We kind of wish to get back to normal, but we are reminded that even normal is still living in a sin-infested, disease-ridden world that's subject to the effects of the fall and the sin of mankind. And it's not until the new heavens and the new earth that we escape that altogether. And so today is a day that the Lord has made, as much as the best day of our life was a day that the Lord has made, and his grace, his abundant grace, is sufficient for us today. And because of that, the other part of the verse, I will rejoice and be glad in it. I just think of the Psalms, that sometimes it's a choice. It's a matter of saying, Lord, I choose to rejoice in today, not because of how I feel, not because we're well, not because we slept well, not because today's an easy day, not because we have all the answers, but we choose to rejoice in today because you've made today, and because you reign over today. And so I am praying for you guys, I'm praying for us, that we would just choose to rejoice in today and be glad in today, because we're rejoicing in and being glad in the Lord and in his loving care for us and in his goodness. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Hope you guys are doing well.